What is going on, 49er faithful? Welcome back to another 49er media video. And today we're going to be talking about some special teams and the 49er special teams vacancy as they are looking for their newest special teams coach after firing Brian Schneider last week. It had to be done, and they, in fact, did fire Brian Schneider. And so now the 49ers have been going through the interview process and some intriguing names here. They've interviewed two guys so far, one from the Detroit Lions and one from the Denver Broncos. Now, this report came out yesterday when it comes to the Lions, as the 49ers completed an interview with the Lions assistant special teams coach Jett Modkins for the special teams coordinator position. This is intriguing because Jett Modkins has been with the Lions, you know, even though he's the assistant, right? I'm sure he has some influence on there. And the Lions had the number one special teams when it comes to DVOA. If you're looking at the DVOA ranking, the Detroit Lions were number one. And why this stat matters is it's heavily weighted in coverage on kicks and punts. And this is all thanks to Akash Anavarathon on Twitter, by the way, for this little snippet here. I think that's very interesting. Now, you do have to keep in mind, okay, how much influence, how much work are these guys actually doing because they're assistant special teams coaches, but you do have to be interviewing their special teams coaches if you have interest, because if they were to go interview the actual special teams coach of the Detroit Lions, it would be a lateral move, meaning now, first of all, Detroit would have to allow it, and second of all, the Niners would have to basically give him special teams coach and basically like assistant head coach, which they do not have the ability to do that because currently Brandon Staley has that role. So it would be a lateral move if they went out and tried to go get, you know, a special teams coach from a team. So that's why they do have to look at assistants. So keep that in mind. The second guy that is very interesting that the 49ers did end up interviewing, and this is from Mike Garofalo. This just came out a few minutes ago, actually. The 49ers interviewed Broncos assistant special teams coach Chris Banjo for their special teams coordinator job. He has 2 years in his coaching career after a 10-year stint as a DB and special teamer. Um, this is a guy that's definitely newer, but he was a special teams player, like I just mentioned. Um, so a guy that's not going to be as experienced, but this past season, the Denver Broncos were top 10 when it comes to punt return coverage, kickoff return average. Sorry, I meant punt return average. Uh, Punt return average against, and then kickoff return average against. Marvin Mims, one of their kind of young receivers, had an all pro type year on special teams. I think this is an intriguing guy. I think these are two guys the 49ers clearly need to look into, aside from just doing, the interviews. I think they need to go in and hire possibly one of these two guys. Will be interesting to see who else they kind of hire. So I will tell you guys, in a future video or live stream, who I think the Niners should hire. Again, I want to see if they end up, interviewing some other guys, which I'm sure they will be interviewing a few more guys, and see kind of who those guys are. What are their track records as special teams coaches, or more of like assistant special team coaches. So that's going to be very interesting. A lot of people have been speculating, hey, maybe we can go, look at the Dallas Cowboys special teams, because they had the best special teams uh, this season, and the Cowboys just fired Mike McCarthy. Otherwise, I would not be bringing this up. Um, I think it'd be kind of dumb for whoever comes in as the head coach to get rid of the special teams coach of the Dallas Cowboys. But I think a name that you need to keep in mind. Now, I will say this is not reported. There's no source out there that's saying, oh, the 49ers have interviewed this guy. It's more like they should interview this guy. And that is John Fassel, uh, one of the best special teams coordinators. Again, best special teams unit this season. I think the 49ers need to try to see if they can bring this guy to SF. Again, they have not interviewed him. This is more opinionated kind of, take here, and I agree with this take. Um, so I would love the 49ers to go and do that. We'll see if they do, and we'll report it right here if that happens. But yeah, guys, that is going to do it here for your 49ers update on the special teams coordinator search. Make sure to like and subscribe. Turn that notification bell on so you're always notified and never miss an update like this. Peace out, and let's go Niners.